You want to plug that in where? Awkward. Hi, this is Simon from Fingers on Plastic. A little while ago, I got a really nice goodie box from Mr. Odd full of glorious Transformers Primes figures. So in this video, I'm going to take a closer look at the figures and generally just wax lyrical about them. And I've made some modifications to some of them, which are, well, in my dimly lit room looked all right, but now under the bright office lights, I miss bits. Part of the course. Anyway, let's look at some figures. First up, we have Ultra Magnus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, look at them all in vehicle mode, transform them all, and then have them walk back through in robot mode. So Ultra Magnus, this is the decent one. Very nice looking truck. I'm a big fan of this. I do wonder if some of this stuff could be tidied up, but we'll ponder that a little bit more in the robot mode. That's Magnus. Let's put him back in the box. Again, one of my little grails was Ratchet. Now, although I dearly love this figure, it could do with being a pinch bigger. It's a little on the small side, but it looks nice and it looks great. That's the main thing. It looks decent, just a bit small. Smokescreen, who I'm pretty sure I may have referred to as Sideswipe. Now I know his colouring is off because obviously he's supposed to be red and blue. But I imagine that they changed the colours because there's another fairly prominent red and blue character in Transformers Prime. But it's a decent looking car. Yeah, I really like it. I've done maybe take the pen to the wheels. I need to check to see if there's silver in there. There's supposed to be silver in there. The Magnus twins. I've actually looked at this previously in another video. Everything I said in that stands. Well, I think one of these is going to be, I want one of these to be customised. I just need to figure out how and what I'm going to do to it. But one is total play territory. Wheeljack. Again, one of my absolute favourite Wheeljack moulds. I looked at this in video 2, I believe. Really, really cool figure. Cliff Jumper. Love this. Very cool car. Didn't really get much of a chance to shine in the show. But I just think it looks great. Really cool. Obviously all these roll phenomenally. Knockout, who looks absolutely great in car mode. I have got this mold before and I've painted the wheels in gold, which gives it a little bit more life, but we'll come to Robot in a moment. Again, it's a really nice car mode. Vehicle, I think these look phenomenal. Even when some Egypt's not transformed them properly from the look of it. That would be me, by the way. Me, Egypt. Really, yeah, like I say, every time I see one of these, I pick them up. Because, well, you need a bunch, don't you? So this is the RC I got from Mr. Odd, and this is an RC Paddy gifted to me a while back. The definite differences, not sure why, but I like this one and I like this one. This one is obviously slightly more show accurate, but this one's still nice. Arachnid. Very slender helicopter, but yeah, again it works. So I mean, it looks like the helicopter is absolutely spot on, and I love that you can lift the canopy. I see some detail inside. Really cool. Tiny little Decepticon logo on the front there. Yeah, love it. Soundwave, who's a Predator drone. And it's funny, I did wonder if this was much cop, this figure, especially for how much it goes for when you look for him. But it's show accurate, so, you know, probably could do with a slightly darker paint job. But other than that, it's spot on. And love it. So we got Skyquake and Dreadwing. I'm probably only going to transform one of these. No, spoiler alert. Because they're exactly the same. Chunky planes. Chunky planes. Again, really nice details. Playing with that one, I've mistransformed it, shockingly enough. Should start a drinking game if you watch one of our videos, and you know, if you spot a mistransformation, have a drink. People would be sozzled if they watch a day of us, or an hour of us. Just glorious. He does have a slight hands at the back issue. I think what they could have done is, you know, on the forearms, did it open and fold to conceal, and if they'd have done that, it'd pretty much nail this figure. So if any, you know, if APC, if you're planning on KOing this figure, just put some hinges in the forearm so the hands can fold in, and that'd be pretty much spot on. Oh, and I forgot to bring some batteries, which is a bit annoying, because I thought, oh, I should get some batteries, because obviously he's got a light up feature. But as far as I can tell, his light up feature, and if you look in his head, I'm pretty sure it would only light up his eyes and nose. Maybe look like he's got some sort of sinus infection, but it's still pretty cool. I think if this one's KO'd, I think we could forego the lights and have a bit more articulation in the head. I think that would be better. Or both, you know, just so it folds up better. Just you know, take out the mechanism here and just have it so it's a bit more, so you can turn left and right, really. But again, really nice. I like the paintwork on it. I just really like this figure, shockingly. Right, let's start with Bulkhead. I've been messing around with some of them. So with Bulkhead, I just put a little bit of silver around these wheels, and on the front, I coloured this bit in black. So A hides better in there, and when it comes up, it's more of just a shape that's visible. But other than that, rolls again, it's brilliant roll. Such a great figure. I'll probably do. I think there's a bit more I want to do. The faux wheels I want to do there, and I'll talk about that more when I get to his robot mode. But yeah, do love a bit of bulkhead. And I like that it's got a little Alden petrol cap. It's the little details, isn't it? Sometimes the little details, awesome. I didn't get this from Simon, but I got it a little while ago, and it's the APC knockoff Prime. Now this one I've done a bit of painting on, like I've silvered the grille and coloured in the little loopy thing red, just because I think that looks a bit nicer. I've also got rid of all the brown and made it silver. See, I've not done a particularly tip-top job, but if somebody with, you know, actual talent and paints and proper things, I reckon could make something really special with this figure. On the back, he had these little fan things. I've put the fans in silver, which is not show accurate, but I have taken that and made the brown bits black around it, which is show accurate. This should be red, and I'm pondering that because I figured out why it doesn't clip into the things properly. When it gets to robot mode, I'll show you that. So a couple of changes. I just think it looks much better silver than brown. And I put a little bit of black on the windscreen wipers as well. I just think it looks nicer. And it didn't take too long either. Like I said, I think they're re-releasing this with different colours, which is quite comical now. I've messed about with it, but still, yeah, whatever. And the one I've really gone to town on, I really coloured in, is this Starscream. Obviously he was all purple and a whole raft of colours, so I've just silvered the entire top. And I've put a little bit of dark on the things, and I've put some highlights on the wing tips. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep going with these wings and maybe just silver the lot. I don't know. But yeah, it's made quite the difference to him. He's basically a completely different colour now. And then there's more when we get to robot mode that we'll look at. But a really nice jet. Well, a show accurate jet anyway. Just a little bit of kibble on the side. Again, if this is KO'd, I think all they'd really need to do is have these bits collapse down. So this little bit tidies up a little bit better. Other than that, it's fine, isn't it? It looks, I mean, that angle there looks great. Oh, I coloured the missiles as well, which need another coat. Another coat, he says, like he's done it properly. Didn't just go over it all with a Sharpie. But yeah, I think it looks a bit nicer. I've still got like an original untouched one, which I won't mess with, but as I had a spare, I wanted to colour it in. Really nice, really quite happy with how that turned out. Because it's not perfect. It looks like it's got a bit of wear to it, which, although not intentional, works. Although I'm going to have to go around the side again because I've clearly missed bits. It's funny what you see when the light, isn't it? When you're doing this thing, well-lit room apparently. Who knew? You should watch more of John's custom videos. He'll show you how to do it properly. Right, I think that's it for all the vehicles. Let's get some transformed up. So we'll start back with Predaking here. Very colourful experience. He's not particularly thrilled about standing up. It's a bit back heavy. It would be nice. He's got sort of a Grimlock back. It'd be nice if this could fold in a little bit more. But he's, you know, he's intimidating enough. If we bring in Cliff Jumper here, this fight would probably end up the normal way for Cliff Jumper, which, you know, isn't good for Cliff. There's not much to say about it. It's not massively articulate. It's got some lovely sounding joints and a sword that looks like it could cleave a moon in half. But his head's not particularly moving. So there's a few tweaks for the KO, please, APC, who are obviously going to watch this. Just a bit more articulation in the head. and this folds up better. Scrap the electrics, and they're cool and everything, but they ponder or hinder. Other than that, it's all rather lovely. Right, who's next? Ooh, we brought him out a second ago. So here is Cliff Jumper. He's not great. He's not awful, but he's not great. They can do better, and we know they can. His back and his arms are a bit of a mess, and his back of his legs are a bit hollow, and there's a car on his butt. But the face is cool. Yeah, that's it for Cliffy. Viacon. Again, I love these. I want more of these. They just, well, I mean, again, they got if arms, but they're literally there to be murdered in mass. Smokescreen. Mixed, like the back of his arms are a bit of a mess. It would have been cooler. Although I'm sure, my memory is telling me about, there's some sort of mod you can do to get all this crap on his back. So I might look into that. If anyone knows it off the top of their head, please in the comments. But yeah, it's good looking enough. It's him. You know who it is. Works. Knockout. They tried. I've actually previously, in a previous video, said that I really like this figure, but obviously I think I was just full of the TFN glow. It's like the backs. The shape, they've gone for the shape. You know, the front bits of the car being there and all that. And he's got a great head on him. But his arms are a bit of a catastrophe, and it's not quite there, is it? It's all right, but could try harder. The RC, I only transformed one of them because they're the same, but really good figure. Big fan of it. Again, I think the darker blue is the more screen accurate colour. But this is still a really nice figure, and considering its age, it's held together really quite nicely. It's probably my favourite iteration, Transformers Prime. Transformers Prime has my favourite iteration of quite a lot of characters. Just give me an idea for another video. Probably give her face a bit of a touch-up. Or not, maybe just leave it alone. Who knows? But yeah, that's RC. Let's bring in the Magnus contingent. I like the way the legs fold on this one. The legs fold round and look pretty cool. Decent grumpy looking head sculpt. But if we bring in the other one as well, I've got no idea if this is transformed right, because if it is, do those things have a hinge there for no reason I can tell? But you can tell who it is. It says Magnus all over it. The torso, bit bare. Maybe some tinkering to come. Who knows? Who knows? That's it for the Magnuses. The Magnuses. Another bit. This robot's probably a bit more miss than it is hit. Dr. Roboto. Can't really move the legs. You know who it is, but looks great in helicopter mode. I think I'd like a version that looks great in robot and sacrifices the vehicle. Because I quite like the character because she's nasty. And I like nutty chicks. But yeah. Pretty cool. It's like, it's got the articulation of a brick, but... Ooh. He's a bit of a lump. So, again, it looks really good. The head. I'm really impressed with this. I think the only alteration I'd have made is it would be cool if this kibble here could have folded around and gone into the leg. Other than that, no changes required here. It doesn't have a waist, but it's the way it transforms. Who cares? It's a good looking figure. And ferocious light piping. I think you can plug a light into the back and it will shine all the way through, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's it for Skyquake. Now, I didn't look at him in vehicle mode because he's not really about the vehicle mode, is he? Got all these little flappy bits all in the way. There you go, right there. Let's try that again. That's pretty cool, isn't it? He is a scary mother. And the thing, he's got really good entrance, you know, when he walks out looking like just death incarnate. I don't know if it's my favourite iteration of Shockwave, but again, that's another video I've got now an idea for. Content. Yay! I love him. The Studio series also fills in quite well for him as well, because again, it looks scary. One of the big needs. I needed that. Ratchet. Again, great head. Particularly articulated, but actually, waist, arms. It's good looking figure. Wheeljack, I've already covered him before, but again, he's just really cool. This Wheeljack works. Soundwave and detachable Laserbeak, which is just wonderful. Looks, it's funny because it's not a great figure in, you know, when you look at it and you think that's not a great figure, but it is, because it's screen accurate. I mean, really very screen accurate. I've apparently forgotten how to plug this in, even though I've literally just unplugged it. I'll come back to you in a minute, Laserbeak. It's what it looks like in the show, apart from this little bit of back leg kibble. But this is Soundwave, and it just works like. Laserbeak can take flight. Very cool. I love this figure. I'm really happy with this Prime stuff. It's just one of my favourite lines, and it's not very often I get to come back to it. That's Soundwave. Moving on to those that I've slightly messed about with. So Bulkhead, I just think that quite frankly, his crotch looks a bit better. There you go, Paddy. You're happy. You're happy, Paddy. Crotch close up. Love his stumpy legs. Kind of reminds me of an ex-girlfriend. The silver, I do like the subtle silver there. I did add a little bit of black to the faux tyre, which will need to be gone over again. And I might I like to make his feet a bit darker as a whole, because they were darker, weren't they, in the show? But again, it's a fun figure. Really fun. This is a toy that's fun. That just happens to also be quite collectible now. Alright, here's Prime. There's a couple of things I wanted to point out. So yeah, I've really sort of gone to town on like all the arms. Got rid of all that pesky brown in there. I've changed the colours in there a little bit. Just put a smidgen of black there because it's show accurate. Got rid of some of the brown in there. Quite happy with how this turned out because again, it's not perfect, but it works by not being perfect. I blacked his hands again instead of brown. Didn't really like the brown. I put a little bit of colour there, so instead of the brown there, and I'm going to dark that bit off. Now, this doesn't tab in properly for everybody. You see here, there's these little filler pieces, and I've only fixed one of them deliberately, so I can't remember which one did I fix. Damn it! So this is what stops the legs. So you see this little filler pieces come out, and this is what stops the leg tabbing in nicely in robot mode for some people. So what it is on said filler piece, there's this little sticky out bit here, and if you chop a little bit off of that and then dab a little bit of glue and shove it back in, it will sink the filler piece in a little bit further, not a lot, but enough, and then you'll find this will tab in much, much better. Well, that's what worked on mine anyway. I don't know why, I painted in quite a bit of his back as well, just because I just think it looks a lot nicer. I really don't like brown. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how this one's turning out. It's not finished yet, but certainly on the right track. And again, such a great figure. I really love this figure. And it's a good transformation. It looks great in both modes. And it's quite easy and clever. It's actually quite genius, this figure. I'm going to say it. Just an amazing, amazing Prime. It works so, so well. Right. And last but not least, again, not quite finished, but I've made quite a few changes to him. Like in there, sort of, I've put the red bits in and made the middle bit darker, and so he's got some different colours going on in there. When you've got a good strong light behind him, the Decepticon logo still glows, which I quite like. Yeah, not a perfect job, but I mean, Starscream throughout the series, generally just things keep going worse and worse and worse for him, which is quite funny. It is my favourite iteration of Starscream. The only thing I would have liked is these bits here, if they could have folded back in on themselves. Just not a massive tidy, just a little bit. Other than that, I love this figure. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Really happy with this lot. So, they were my recent additions to my Transformers Prime collection. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed playing with these toys. Yeah, like I said, the customizing work and the fixing bits, I'm quite new to it. I like watching videos like John and like James, who would like to do videos for the channel as well, because he did Paddy's green Grimlock, which is absolute work of art. Beautiful. Paddy, where's your green Grimlock video, by the way? But yeah, that's about it for this video. I need a breakdown, people. If anyone sees a breakdown, I'm just saying it's my birthday at the end of the month. You know, just putting it out there. 28th of June is my birthday. I'll be really old. I think I'm gonna be 43. Yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you very much.
on Plastic.